Welcome, everybody. Namaskaram. It's been entirely too long since we had our last live stream, almost a month ago. Shrav's so proud, Anna. Thank you so much. Namaskaram. So, welcome to the first live stream in Dakshinayanam on the Sanskrit channel. As you see, the topic for today's live stream is to celebrate our milestone of reaching 10 lakh, Dasha Laksha, or a prayuta is another name for a million in Sanskrit. So we have hit that milestone finally. AM says. So yes, so it's a significant number. It's been a very fulfilling journey for me personally, and I hope for a lot of our subscribers and members as well. So today's live stream is to do a little bit of a Simhavalokanam, as it is traditionally called, which is a recap, which is to look back at the path we have taken so far and to set a roadmap for the future. So welcome. I see more people joining in. Namaskaram. I see more people joining on Zoom as well. Sohilji, welcome. Namaskaram. How are you? I'll come to the Zoom session. We'll quickly finish this live stream. There are just 7 or 8 main topics that I have prepared for this live stream. So we'll spend not more than 20-30 minutes on YouTube and then go private. Today's Zoom session is open to all. The link to the Zoom session is in the description as always, but the passcode for the Zoom session, which is usually only given to our patrons and YouTube members, is today for this Zoom session open for all. The passcode is prayuta. So by clicking on the Zoom link and typing in the passcode prayuta, you will be able to join the Zoom session where we can have one-on-one personal conversations. If you have any questions regarding the topics that we have covered so far, or if you have any suggestions for the future, we can have a direct conversation there. This Zoom session usually is only for patrons and YouTube members, but today on this occasion, I thought we'll make it open for all. I see there are comments already on YouTube. I'll not check the comments, guys, on YouTube today because we have Zoom for direct interactions. On YouTube, it will just be a one-way street. So if you want to, I see there are some abuses also going on. So there are trolls. If you want to troll, if you have the guts to troll, you can come directly on Zoom and have that trolling session. Anyway, so with all the support, all the, protsahan and nirutsahan together, we have reached a million subscribers, and it's really very encouraging to see that there are so many people across the world that my work has reached, our work has reached as a team. And I mean, all of this work has only been made possible by our extremely generous and supportive patrons and YouTube members. So once again, a very heartfelt gratitude to all of you guys, and to each and every subscriber as well, to somebody who has just enabled notifications, who has clicked the subscribe button, because I can keep creating content or I can keep just explaining Sanskrit stuff, but without somebody to benefit from, without somebody who is at the other end to value and receive that knowledge, this would not have been possible. So this list that you see right here is are different numbers for significant multiples of 10. Dasha, everybody knows, Dasha is 10. There is Shata, which is 100. Everybody knows that again. Sahasra, most Sanskrit lovers know the word Sahasra, which is 1,000. And there is a Laksha, which is 1 lakh or 100,000. The technical name in Sanskrit is Niyuta. And there is Dasha Laksha or Prayuta, which is where we stand right now. And then there is Shata Laksha or Arbuda, which is 100 lakhs or 10 million. Um, that is our next milestone, which um, depends on you, and a lot depends on me as well and our team as well as to how we get there. So let's see. We'll quickly look at the kind of topics that we have covered so far, which got us here, and also the kind of topics we'll do in the future based on your suggestions and what has been received well so far. And even if some topic has gone viral and millions of views have accrued on it, we've not really gone behind just gathering more and more views, but on topics and videos which bring the most value to to Sanskrit speakers, Sanskrit sadhakas at large. So that's where our direction has been. It's not been around topics of most virality. But anyway, coming quickly. Oh, this is what is awaiting you at the end. A master sheet. We'll come to this at the end. Um Coming to the second point that I wanted to discuss, Dakshinayanam has started. So the sun's southern run um, for the second half of the year, which is the most conducive time for one's sadhana, has started. We'll see more and more festivals coming up in the second half of the year. This is the main reason I went AWOL for almost a month, which is to just work on my own sadhana to reinforce it. So I was in the 21-day hatha. A lot of you guys also have met during that time, and very, very interesting people who work in the same field. There were musicians, there were Vedic chanting experts. So it was a wonderful time at Isha Yoga Center for my own sadhana. So that's where I've been. And we have recently celebrated Ashadha Ekadashi, which is called as Deva Shayana Ekadashi. As the story goes, Lord Vishnu is said to go to sleep on this Ekadashi, as this graphic right here shows. As the sun's, we on 21st June, which was the summer solstice, it was the longest day. And from now on, the length of day gets shorter and shorter as the sun's southern run begins. All of this happens because of a slight tilt in Earth's axis, as you see right here. It's not exactly, uh, you know, perpendicular to the ecliptic, the plane in which Earth revolves around the sun. Earth is not exactly perpendicular; it's slightly tilted towards the sun like this, which is why there is a northern and southern run to the sun. Um, so this all of this has been explained in multiple videos on Jyotisha Shastra. We'll see what kind of topics we've covered so far and how you can access them easily as playlists. But according to Jyotisha Shastra, as the length, duration of the day gets shorter, uh, Lord Vishnu is said to go to sleep. And before Uttarayanam begins, before the sun's northern run, when the sun comes back and not, he doesn't rise exactly in the east, from the southernmost tip, he starts moving slightly to the northern side of east. So then Lord Vishnu is said to wake up. This happens in the Kartika Masa called as Kartika Ekadashi. And this duration is again said to be very, very conducive towards one's sadhana. So a lot of people go on Chaturmasya Dikshas, 4 months of Diksha. So different kinds of vratas happen. And as you'll see, Shravana Masa starts, Kartika Masam comes, Margashirsha or Margali comes up. So all of these times of sadhana have begun. So Dakshinayanam, the sadhana pada, second half of the year has started. We'll see how we can orient our content also towards sadhana of people while imparting Sanskrit knowledge. Sanskrit will explore it in its profound spiritual aspects, not just as one more language of communication and study, but as a profound language which has a direct impact on the physical and psychological well-being of people. So with that, and today is Trayodashi. In 2 more days, Guru Purnima is coming up, so that is also there. So we'll see that more and more important auspicious festivals are coming up. So one another milestone, apart from a prayuta or a million subscribers, is a Sahasra videos. So Sahasra Chalachitrani, we have made 1000 plus videos so far on the channel, and going to the playlists section on our YouTube channel, you'll be able to see all of them sorted into these neat little playlists. You can look at the Sanskrit Across Bharat playlist, where you can learn to read and write various Indic scripts to learn Sanskrit language in. There is also this concepts of Sanskrit grammar playlist, and then there is this Vakshuddhi playlist, which is only for members, pre-recorded videos of Vakshuddhi. That is also in a neat little playlist. Then there are Shastras, Yoga Shastra, Tantra, Artha, Yoga Shastra, Jyotisha, Ayurveda, Sangeeta. We have covered multiple Shastras, not in the entire textbook, not as complete topics in themselves. That will come up in the future, where we'll go through Sangeeta Ratnakara in its authentic Sanskrit source. But we have touched upon multiple Shastras. Below this, there are also stotras on various different deities, on Shiva, Shakti, Vishnu, Ganesha. Recently, we had Subramanya Bhujangam, Nrisimha Kavacham, various different Sahasranamas. On Navagrahas, we had different stotras. So we have covered the Shastra and the Stotra and the Vyakarana and you know those kinds of topics. What I mean, despite having started those, there are still some unfinished playlists. Saundarya Lahari, I've covered the entire chant twice with narrated meanings and uninterrupted chant, but individual shloka explanations has not been completely done yet. Uh, that is one of the most sought after questions by a lot of you guys. I know this, but I thought I've covered the entire chant, so and to go into the depth of each and every shloka takes a lot of time, and it has to be done sequentially, one after the other. So I thought, because of the number of queries regarding that, we will cover Saundarya Lahari 2 going forward in more detail. And we had seen the descriptions of the 7 chakras in the human body, why it is not just another topic that the West has taken up and muddled up in its own pop culture references, but it is a profound experience of how the human body functions. It's not just a model of how the body functions. Like, many people have started naming these models: the Panchakosha model, the Saptachakra model, the Saptadhatu model. These are not some kinds of theories. There is Dalton's atomic model, there is somebody else's model of how an atom functions. These are not theoretical concepts of modeling and trying to understand the human body. These are very objective realities of how the human physical system functions at an energy level. Uh, because these are not, physically, there are no instruments yet to observe and quantize these aspects. It doesn't mean that they are just abstract theoretical aspects of how the human body functions. But anyway, we'll go into those also. We had looked at the description from Shatchakra Nirupanam. We'll look at, there are multiple other texts which describe these Sapta Chakras in more detail. We'll look at their Sanskrit sources, and we'll try to understand how these chakras function. This is one more topic which was requested a lot. Panchatantra, I had started thinking it will be a bunch of children's stories which are very practical and useful in one's life. But turns out they are quite, direct in terms of their approach towards, very, very cunning, very worldly wise. So, and a few people appreciated it, but there was no, the number of views was not too much. So we had kind of halted Panchatantra. There is really, I really want to complete all the stories of Panchatantra. So we'll focus on that going forward. And then there is, of course, Sanskrit across Bharat, which is going on at its own place. Malayalam has been covered, Devanagari, of course, Gujarati has been covered to some extent. I'm yet to release all the explorations from Girnar Darshan and the trek there to Somnath Sanskrit University. I had posted a small 40-minute vlog, but I had brilliant interactions with the Sanskrit students there at Somnath Sanskrit University. So those recordings are also still there. So Sanskrit Across Bharat videos will also come up in the future. So these are some of the unfinished playlists that we'll be focusing on going forward. And topics, new topics that I want to take up in the future are is titled Geometry of the Divine. You might have seen me tweeting about it. So I've started being more active on Twitter. So one of the topics that I recently tweeted about that we'll be delving into going forward is the geometry of the divine, God, as as Sanatana Dharma approaches it. So there is enormous precision of geometry, be it in Tantra Shastra, be it in yoga as asanas, as physical asanas, be it in the yantras which are created to emulate how the energy system, the chakras function within, and how to impact these chakras and the yantras by putting them into a into a temple kind of a structure where this can be transmitted to people en masse, so at large, as energetic places where you just sit, imbibe, and energize your body. And there is a lot of geometry there to how a temple is constructed. And to understand this, to delve into this, will enhance our own understanding of what this rich culture and heritage has to offer. So this is one topic in multiple aspects like this. So we'll look at the Shri Yantra, we'll look at what the different layers of Shri Yantra are. We had already covered a lot of chants on Goddess Lalita, on Shri Vidya a little bit. Khadgamala Stotram has been covered. A lot of people have been asking about mm, some chants, some very potent chants in Devi Mahatmyam, Siddha Kunjika Stotra and such. I've not covered them so far, but we'll do that also. Maybe Siddha Kunjika Stotram will put it only for members. I don't want to make it public. Shorbenduji will come to Zoom session quickly. Yeah, let me finish up the quick introduction and finalize the stream on Zoom on YouTube. Then we'll come to um, Zoom session and we'll have a direct conversation. And like that, as I said, so giving some more focus, bala, on the Agama Shastra as well. We look at different aspects of how a temple is constructed and how it correlates with the human body. And another very exciting topic that we'll be delving into is the chant of the Vedas. So this has been one topic that I have not really touched so far, despite the most popular question always being, I want to learn the Vedas. How do I unlock the secrets of the Vedas? It takes so much more effort. Understanding, learning Sanskrit is just about being very attentive to how the sounds are uttered and what they mean. When it comes to the Vedas, the meaning, there are, it just goes into layers and layers of interpretation. And on top of perfection of pronunciation of sound, there is also the perfection of the pitch at which it is chanted. And then there are, of course, hundreds of different shakhas, very few of which still exist. But even then, to be, precise about chanting these Vedic chants, be it suktas, be it Upanishads. I have had this very, I have had this pleasure of interacting with a Vedic chanting teacher called Aravind in the 21-day Hatha Yoga program. He runs his own YouTube channel. He's been learning from Chelakere Srinivasji for many, many years now, almost a decade now. And he suggested this idea of presenting the pitch of chant across 3 different lines. There is Udatta, Anudatta, and Swarita, which are the 3 different levels, pitches of chanting something. So this would be Gananam Tva Ganapatigam. So that is how it would start. We'll start with, of course, Ganesha mantra. This I'm hoping to release by Guru Purnima. 2 days we have. So I'll release a chant on how, a Vedic chant progresses. And one of the most useful features on our channel so far has been a guided chant on how to pay keen attention to each and every letter of the Sanskrit alphabet. So on top of being able to, follow along with the chant with an animated underline, this will help us to understand the pitch, the swarasthana as well. So I'm very excited about this. So this is one more topic that we'll be covering in the future, which is entering Vedic chant and concepts from the Vedas. So this will include, Ganesha, Atharva Shirsham. This will include Purusha Suktam and Shri Suktam, Medha Suktam and Bhagya Suktam, all the Sukta chants in the future. Maybe we'll even make it into small, digestible sets of 10, 20 videos for each module and make it into mini courses as such. There are, still some brainstorming going on, but we will enter this door which has been unopened so far on the Sanskrit channel, which is Vedic chanting. So I'll come. आप कमेंट पढ़ रहे हो, क्या पूछ रहे हैं आनवीक्षिकी? हाँ, आ रहा हूँ, कमेंट्स तक आ रहा हूँ, मुझे ये कंप्लीट करने दीजिए. So let me finish this and then I'll come to the comments on YouTube. We'll finish it in almost 30 minutes and then come to the Zoom session. I'll end the stream, the public stream, within 10 minutes, and then all of us will move to Zoom, where we'll have a face-to-face conversation. I did not want to stream that to YouTube. We'll just keep this minor update on YouTube. So this final piece that I wanted to share with all of you is a master sheet of all the content, all the videos, the 1,000+ videos that we have covered so far on the channel. Those 1,000 include a lot of these small videos where we, practice the letters of the Devanagari, of the Malayalam, of the Gujarati script, and the live streams, and all the chants, all the stotras and the shastras, all of them across these multiple sheets. There are, all of these listed by their title, their date of release, and, the downloadable resources corresponding to all of them, which again are accessible to members and patrons. But it is just a perk, which is, just an incentive that is given extra. It's not something which is obstructed to other people. All of this is, of course, the same content which is present in the videos, but in a more accessible format, in being able to listen to it as MP3, or being able to print it out on a piece of paper and learn it from a PDF. So all of these resources, you can access it. Public, this is open for all. So if you were looking for a more accessible, searchable way of looking at what has been covered on Sanskrit channel so far, among these 1,000 videos, we have thousands of shlokas across. We probably more than 1 lakh shlokas we have definitely covered. There is 1,000 in Narayaniam itself. Then there is Shivananda Lahari, which is another 100. Saundarya Lahari, which is another 100. So just counting like this, we have multiple thousands of shlokas which have been covered. So you can easily access them, search for them, find when they have been covered, what are the downloadable links, what is the link to the video and the playlist. All of this is easily accessible through this link. You can go to bit.ly/TSC, the Sanskrit channel, -sheet, and you'll be able to access this sheet. We'll keep updating this as we create more and more videos, as we cover more and more topics. So this is what I had planned as an update for the Simhavalokanam and the roadmap for the future. So once again, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us on this channel to explore Sanskrit. We are still speaking in English, which I'm not too thrilled about. यथाशक्यम् अग्रे गत्वा संस्कृतभाषायामेव सम्भाषणं भवतु अस्माकं सर्वेषाम्. As much as possible, we'll try to get more and more people conversing in Sanskrit soon. Conversatory lessons about Sanskrit we have not yet covered so far. व्याकरण कक्षाः कानिचन सन्ति, व्याकरण चलच्चित्राणि सन्ति अस्माकं चैनल मध्ये. We have a few grammar videos, but it's an ocean to swim through. There is so much to cover and relish. So thank you so much for joining us. Be with us as we explore this vast ocean. There's a lot of exciting topics. As you can see, there is Saundarya Lahari, there is aspects of Tantra, there is aspects of Vedanta and Jyotisha and Vastu and Agama and Sangita and Natya. So many different fields of study to explore. So even the Vedic chanting, I thought I'll just skip these English text. What do you guys think? I thought I'll just have Devanagari text. We have, we have catered to the baseline Sanskrit seekers enough, I thought. But then I thought, okay, fine, even if somebody is just beginning, learning the Vedas can be their starting point, their entry point into Sanskrit learning. So even if they don't know Devanagari yet, they can use this Ga to learn that this is how Ga is, this is how Na is. So I still kept a little bit of English here and there. So let's see. Telugu vallu unnaru, Tamil makkal irukanga. So there are all regional languages. We'll see how we can include them and include regional scholars of Sanskrit from our past, the stalwarts and saints and sages from the past who have composed Sanskrit literature in every part of Bharat, all the way from current day Afghanistan to Kanyakumari and Arunachal in the east and beyond to, we'll explore all of that and we'll see. We'll keep English still as our main medium of communication. Not too thrilled about it yet, but we'll keep it like that so far. We have 3 more minutes until half an hour mark. We'll quickly look at comments in the YouTube section. किसी भी भाषा में पूछ सकते हैं आप. अगर हिंदी में पूछना है तो पूछ सकते हैं या किसी अन्य भाषा में जो मैं जानता हूँ. Deepanshu ji is asking, do Shiva Sahasranama. We'll do more Sahasranamas. I've been asked to do Kali Sahasranama and Kundalini Sahasranama on Twitter once again, which was very interesting for me to listen to. We'll do more Sahasranamas, definitely. The slow chant, learning each and every individual meaning of each and every individual name. Tanya ji, thank you so very much from Hong Kong. My pleasure. Thank you so much. Madman had a super chat of 20 rupees. Thank you so much. Hi, he says. Molly ji, namaskaram from Ukraine. Hope you're safe. And Anvikshiki ji, keep going. Uday Bhaiya, thank you so much, Anvikshiki ji. नृसिम्ह स्तोत्रम में कौन सा भस्म यूज करना होता है, उसमें एक श्लोक में आता है. Yes, there is a particular shloka in Nrisimha Kavacham where in the Phalashruti where it says if you consecrate bhasma or sacred ash made of certain substances using this particular chant, there is this particular benefit when you apply that consecrated vibhuti which has been chanted using, which has been consecrated using this particular chant. It's always avoid the rock dust, the white rock dust which is being sold as vibhuti. That is definitely not vibhuti. Apart from that, there are many other places where you get bhasma. The best bhasma, of course, the most sattvic of all of them is the one which you get after a havan. There is mango wood which is burnt, and there are coconuts which go into it, ghee which goes into it. The bhasma from a havan kund is always best, so you can use that. There are multiple from a homa. You can use that. That is the best. Otherwise, you can purchase it from a reputed site, or get it from a Shiva temple, which is fine. Thank you for the Sundarakanda series. My pleasure. 1 month में tough गया mentally कल. Okay, I don't know what that is, but let's come from the top. Jai Shri Ram. Karthik ji says Jai Shri Ram. Um, thank you so much for all the love, all the support. Uh, we'll have, as you see, we have exciting content coming up for the future. I'm really excited about how further we can push Sanskrit learning and bring back um, all this authentic treasure from the past, instead of just going behind. I- am there is a spurt of channels which are um, which are claiming all sorts of things. I'm not too fond of channels which just you know trumpet about the greatness of Sanatana Dharma without actually providing authentic Sanskrit references. Hinduism itna scientific hai, utna scientific hai, and they are going on about not providing authentic stuff, but still it is in one way well depictive of the kind of void there is, the kind of vacuum there is for authentic Sanskrit stuff still on the internet. So let's see how far we all collectively can fill that gap. Namaskaram Om Prakash Mishra ji, namaskaram. धर्मेश पांडे जी, जो भी होगा संस्कृत का एक्सप्लोरेशन इसी चैनल में होगा. So let's not dilute our efforts trying to manage multiple channels. Even if the YouTube algorithm doesn't push all of our content to millions of viewers, I hope the people whom we have collected so far, the 10 lakh people, which is not a small number, are interested enough in putting that effort to find the content that is relevant for them. So let's not open 10 different channels. I thought initially that we'll have one for Telugu, one for Hindi, one for Tamil, one for Malayalam, but we'll have all of this in one central place, one repository. The silent flautist, 100 rupees. Thank you so much, bhai, for the super chat. Go check out the silent flautist YouTube channel as well. We'll cover Sangeeta Ratnakara and the practical aspects. On the other hand, Sangeeta Ratnakara gives us the theoretical exploration, the brilliance with which our sages presented Nada and Sangeeta. For a practical understanding and skilling up, we'll use the silent flautist and his videos for a detailed exploration and a practical understanding of the theory we'll learn from the Shastras. Adhyatmikta by Rajarshi Nandiji is a very good channel. Yes, he is more into the sadhana, tantra sadhana, and not so much into the Sanskrita bhasha aspect of it. But yes, I've met him. I'm aware of his work. But yes, not Sanskrita Sahitya and grammar so much and Shastras so much. I want to learn Sanskrit from scratch. Make use of that sheet, Anonymous. There's, as I said, all of the topics that we have covered so far have been grouped into neat little playlists. Start with any playlist, give enough attention to it, you'll pick up stuff. Even if you looked at the very first slide, there is little Sanskrit that you can pick up from all over the place on our channel. There is concepts of Sanskrit grammar. You can start with that playlist. If you want to learn more grammar, if you are more oriented towards the Shastras, towards Jyotisha or Tantra, you can start there. Or if you are into Bhakti, you can start with the Bhagavad Gita, which we have covered, Narayaniyam, or Saundarya Lahari, Shivananda Lahari, all any of those, and start learning one by one. Conversational Sanskrit, Bhasha Prayogaha will come up soon. But yes, it's 34 minutes. If you want to join us for a direct conversation, which usually is only restricted to members, paying members, patrons, and YouTube members, you can use the link in the description and come directly to Zoom. For all our members who have taken up memberships today, I see Purnima ji has taken up memberships, and there was one more person who had become a member recently. Thank you so much for becoming taking up memberships. Once again, it is the support. Even if we don't have the same kind of, you know, virality, pandering to the same kind of topics every single time and the same kind of delivery, even so, because we are covering diverse set of topics which might not be appealing to everybody. It is our members and our patrons whose support keeps us, you know, uh, enables us to do all these kinds of, uh, you know, this kind of fancy setups and this kind of experimentation with different kinds of formats in which we present Sanskrit topics. So thank you so much for your support uh, and your love once again. Um, Look forward to the Ganesha mantra from the Vedas. This is from the Rig Veda. Uh, Gananam Tva Ganapatim. We'll look at the meaning and how to chant it. And we'll also, for our members and patrons, we'll have a private Zoom session like this later on in the week, where we can have practice corrections. We can listen to our members and patrons chant this and correct their meanings and have their questions. But today's Zoom session is free, open for all. I'll see you guys there. Thank you so much for joining me this evening on this live stream. Sadhanapada is here, Dakshinayinam is here, and Guru Purnima and all the major festivals of Sanatan are coming up soon. So if you have not done that yet already, give more bal to your sadhana, put more effort into your own personal sadhana, and this sadhana done during this period yields results and fruits in the Kaivalya Pada once Uttarayanam starts. So thank you so much once again. Shubharatri to everybody, and Shubha Guru Purnima coming up. Namaskaram. Shubharatri.